Dallas Winston is one of the most complex and tragic characters in The Outsiders. Often portrayed as a tough, streetwise delinquent, Dally is the quintessential bad boy of the greasers, violent, reckless, and emotionally guarded. Yet beneath his hardened exterior lies a deeply wounded individual shaped by trauma, abandonment, and a profound sense of loyalty. Dally's presence in the narrative adds emotional weight, thematic complexity, and moral ambiguity to the novel. He is not simply a foil or a cautionary tale. He is a symbol of what happens when society fails to protect its most vulnerable members. Role in the narrative. Dallas Winston serves multiple functions in The Outsiders. On the surface, he is the group's most hardened member, a greaser who has spent time in jail, engages in petty crime, and often resorts to violence. Ponyboy, the narrator, initially views Dally as dangerous and unadmirable. However, Dally plays a crucial role in the lives of the other greasers, especially Johnny Cade. Dally acts as a protector and mentor to Johnny, despite his harsh exterior. When Johnny and Ponyboy flee after killing Bob Sheldon, it is Dally who provides them with money, a weapon, and a hideout, offering practical support that demonstrates his loyalty and resourcefulness. More significantly, Dally's emotional investment in Johnny reveals a more human side to his character. He cares deeply for Johnny, perhaps because Johnny represents a purity and innocence Dally has long lost. This dynamic becomes especially important later in the novel when Johnny dies from injuries sustained while saving children from a burning church. Johnny's death devastates Dally and leads directly to his downfall. Narratively, Dally's suicide by cop after Johnny's death serves as the novel's emotional climax. His final act of desperation is not just the result of Johnny's loss. It is the culmination of years of neglect, pain, and alienation. His death shocks the remaining greasers and forces Ponyboy to confront the grim realities of their world. Dally's trajectory serves as a tragic arc that contrasts with Ponyboy's hopeful one, underlining the novel's exploration of different responses to adversity. Symbolic significance. Dallas Winston symbolizes the destructive consequences of a life without love, support, or hope. He is a product of the streets, abandoned, hardened, and cynical. Unlike characters such as Johnny or Ponyboy, Dally has no stable family or emotional refuge. His rough upbringing in New York and subsequent life in Tulsa have taught him to depend only on himself, and to expect betrayal and pain from others. While Ponyboy and Johnny represent the possibility of transformation and redemption, Dally represents what can happen when society repeatedly fails to protect and nurture its youth. His anger, toughness, and bravado are not just personality traits. They are defense mechanisms, armor he wears to survive in a world that has shown him little kindness. In this sense, Dally also symbolizes the loss of innocence and the dehumanizing effects of poverty and neglect. Unlike Johnny, who retains a sense of moral integrity and self-sacrifice until the end, Dally has lost faith in the world's goodness. His final act, pulling an unloaded gun on the police, can be interpreted as both a cry for help and a final escape. His death is not just a plot point. It is a statement about how society often turns its back on those most in need. Character dynamics. Dally's character also functions as a foil to Ponyboy. While Ponyboy is sensitive, introspective, and idealistic, Dally is pragmatic, hardened, and emotionally closed off. Their differing worldviews highlight the novel's thematic tension between cynicism and hope. Yet, there are moments where Dally shows vulnerability, suggesting that his toughness is a mask. His relationship with Johnny brings out this side most clearly. Dally's affection for Johnny is one of the few genuine emotional connections he allows himself to feel. When Johnny dies, Dally becomes unhinged, not because of some abstract sense of justice or revenge, but because Johnny was his last anchor to humanity. Dally's outburst is not just grief. It's a recognition that without Johnny, he has nothing left to live for. This dynamic underscores a key message in the novel. Everyone, even those with the most rigid exterior, hides emotional depth and pain. Dally may act like he doesn't care, but his actions, rushing into the burning church, lashing out in grief, prove otherwise. He is a character of contradictions. Violent yet protective, detached yet deeply emotional. Broader implications. Beyond his role in the plot, Winston reflects broader social issues. He is emblematic of how systems, family, education, and law enforcement can fail young people. Dally is not evil. He is a young man who was never given a chance to succeed. His choices, while often destructive, are shaped by a lifetime of hardship and rejection. In this way, Dally challenges readers to question how society labels and treats delinquents. His life and death invite conversations about mental health, trauma, and youth violence. Dally is clearly struggling emotionally, especially after Johnny's death, but there is no support system in place for him. His final moments, running from the police, drawing a gun, are as much about despair as they are about defiance. Hinton subtly critiques a society that criminalizes pain rather than addressing its root causes. Dally's story also speaks to the theme of masculinity and emotional repression. Throughout the novel, male characters are often portrayed as rigid, emotionless, and aggressive. Dally embodies this toxic ideal to an extreme degree. Yet his downfall shows the cost of this repression. His inability to process grief healthfully, to ask for help, or to express vulnerability leads him down a fatal path. In contrast, Ponyboy's eventual emotional openness and self-reflection allow him to grow and heal. Conclusion. Winston is one of the Outsider's most memorable and haunting characters. Through his stern demeanor, deep loyalty, and tragic end, he brings complexity and moral tension to the novel. As both a symbol and a person, Dally embodies the harsh realities faced by marginalized youth. Abandonment, emotional suppression, and the absence of opportunity. While his actions are often reckless or destructive, they are rooted in pain, love, and a desperate need for meaning in a world that has offered him little. Dally is neither a villain nor a hero, but a victim of his circumstances, a young man who never had a chance to find peace. His story serves as a poignant reminder of what happens when we fail to listen, understand, and care.